Good evening, everybody. This is Steve Fletcher with the Trumpet for My People. Today is February 3rd, 2020. I've got another piece of information for you that I want to share as we have been studying the rebirth of Israel and all the different steps that it took for Israel to become established. And I saw something really amazing, and it's connected to everything else that we're watching right now, the birthing process, as it says in 1 Thessalonians 5:3, that sudden destruction will come as the pains of a woman in labor. So the beginning of the Great Tribulation and the rapture of the church is connected to the birthing process and the finality of the birth. The sudden destruction is like the birth event. So from the rebirth of Israel, May 14th, 1948, I saw something today that makes me see that this was not the birth at all. This was the conception. 1948, on May 14th, was the conception of Israel. Because as we look at the establishment of Israel and all the steps that it took for them to become established, they were not yet established on May 14th, 1948. They did not have a government. They did not have an election. They did not have a prime minister. And so we see a process that had to take place. Well, let us take a look at an event in 1949 that shows us that the government is now fully established. 1949 in Israel. It was February 14th when the Knesset convened for the first time. The Israeli parliament, or the cabinet, convened for the first time. They had their election on January 25th. Prime Minister David Ben-Gurion was elected. It was the first prime minister of Israel. But even there, he did not yet have a cabinet. But it was on February 14th that now the election had taken place, they had their prime minister, and now they have a cabinet. The full process of establishing Israel has come into play. February 14th, 1949. So if we look at May 14th as the conception, and we look at February 14th, 1949, we will see it is exactly 9 months to the day. 9 months, exactly. 276 days, which translate to 9 months, exactly. Okay, now let us take a look at the Hebrew calendar. And we're going to see something, another thing that is really amazing within this. May 14th, 1948 was the 5th of Iyar, and February 14th, 1949 was 15th of Shavat. It's the New Year of the Trees, Tu B'Shavat. This is the day Israel was born, okay? Because they were conceived 9 months previous, but it was like a baby in the womb. It had not processed. It had not been formed yet. Well, once the cabinet is formed, then Israel is now fully established, and it's like this birthing process has come to a fruition. And it happened to be exactly 9 months to the day. And it's a significant day on the calendar of Israel because it's the new year of the trees, Tu B'Shavat. Tu B'Shavat is a Jewish holiday occurring on the 15th day of the Hebrew month of Shavat. It is also called Rosh Hashanah Layanot, literally New Year of the Trees. In contemporary Israel, the day is celebrated as an ecological awareness day, and trees are planted in celebration. Now, this year, Tu B'Shavat is February 10th. February 14th, so February 10th is the 71st anniversary. The 71st anniversary, which would be the end of the 70 years from their first cabinet meeting. It would be the end of the 70 years, the 71st birthday. On the Hebrew calendar would be February 10th, Tu B'Shavat. If we go all the way to the 71st birthday on the Gregorian calendar, it brings us to Valentine's Day. So this is an amazing window of time that from the beginning of Israel shows that this is when the birth took place. Okay? This is when the birth took place in Tu B'Shavat. And so we have a window of time between the 10th of February, Tu B'Shavat, and the 14th, which is Valentine's Day. Both are days of weddings, both are days of love. And this is our rapture window time. It looks to be that we are coming to the end of the 70 years, and now we have more information that says this could definitely be the time that we have been waiting for. So I put this piece together to give you fuller understanding in a very clear and concise way so that we can see how easy this is within the history of Israel, within the biblical understanding of the birthing of a nation in one day. Can a nation be born in one day? Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we still need to have the 9-month process just as it was. Just as it was. In 1948, they were conceived and there was a 9-month process for them to be fully developed. I had never seen that before. That's an amazing piece of information. It's exactly 9 months to the day for them to have their first cabinet meeting. I find that extremely amazing information. And so I wanted to share that with you. Israel conception, May 14th, 1948. Israel birth, 9 months later to the day, February 14th, 1949. First Knesset meeting on Tu B'Shavat. This, to me, seems like an amazing rapture window between February 10th and February 14th. Are you with me? Do you see what I'm saying? I pray you guys are blessed tonight. This is Steve Fletcher with the trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.